Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome all of you on the official page of HR Consultants Pakistan. Today, HR has organized this event with its partner university, Monash University Malaysia campus. In this session, we have our respected guest, Mr. Ian Ko from the university. And in this session, we will discuss all the information that a student requires when he goes to make the decision for his admission in the Monash University. In this session, we will discuss about the most popular programs which Monash University offers, about its intakes, about the eligibility criteria, about the fee structure, about the accommodation, and all the questions that you people have in the mind in order to make the decision. Our numbers are displayed on the screen. I'm repeating it for you. This is 0346 4747 and 4747052. If you have any question to ask from Mr. Ian from Monash University, you can even call us and you can even send us the message, and we are very grateful to you to answer the question. So I introduce my fellow with me, Mr. Ian Ko from Monash University and Mr. Noman Hamid from Asia Consultants with me. So I welcome you, Mr. Ian, on the platform of Asia Consultants. How are you?
Good, no, Umar, good. How are you?
I'm fine, I'm fine. So
Awesome.
we want to know something about your Monash University. We already know that it's a very high ranked university with a high ranking, the QS ranking. So we want to listen from your side.
Okay, just something to reiterate back a little bit or to stress back a little bit. Monash University is actually an Australian university, okay, with the main campus actually based in Melbourne, Victoria. All right, and for us, or where I am actually from the branch campus, which is Monash University, Malaysia, and of course we are based in Malaysia. All right. Now, for the whole of Monash, we actually have about 8 campuses worldwide, where 4 of them are actually located in Australia, which is Clayton, Caulfield, Parkville, and Peninsula. Malaysia will be one of them, and then the other 3 is one respectively in Italy, Prato, Guangzhou, China, and also in India. So we have actually 8 campuses worldwide. Okay. The first 2 largest teaching campuses are actually located in Australia, which is called Clayton and Caulfield, respectively. But the third largest in terms of teaching facility will be the Malaysian side. Okay. And as of this year, 2020, we are now 22 years old, as Monash University is the first foreign branch campus university in Malaysia. Okay, but that doesn't mean that because we are located in Malaysia, whatever we offer is any different from what is being offered in Australia. When I say that, that means I'm talking in terms of teaching credibility to the rankings availability. Of course, we only offer certain type of programs compared to Australia, but in terms of qualification-wise, it is exactly the same as Monash University, Australia. That means when you graduate, you will be joining our own cohort of 350,000 worldwide alumni, okay, holding the Monash University certificate.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Ian. Thank you so much for giving us time at HR Consultants official page. Ian, you are requested to tell us what are the benefit of education in Malaysia. Like most of the students from Pakistan wants to study in USA, Australia, Canada. So why Malaysia?
Okay, to be honest, as I mentioned earlier, I am from, well, or at least Monash University is actually from Australia. Australia does not lose out to any of the countries that you are actually, for a lot of Pakistani students are looking to go to, whether is it in terms of UK, US, Canada. And on top of that, Monash University, as Umair mentioned earlier, is highly ranked. Okay, so we are currently ranked 58 out of the 400 or 600 over universities in the world. And on top of that, all our programs generally cover ranking from number 3 all the way to top 100. There is none of our programs any lower than that. Okay, that is one of the qualifications wise as to why you can actually consider Monash University. Okay, that means in terms of quality assurance, it is similar with what we offer in Australia. That means the recognition that you get is an international recognition, not below anyone else to where you're going to.
Okay, so what are the popular programs you are offering in this campus?
We are currently having 7 faculties, okay, which is School of Arts and Social Sciences, School of Business, School of IT, School of Engineering, School of Pharmacy, School of Science, and last but not least, the Jeffrey Chia School of Medicine and Health Sciences. So we have 7 different faculties that cover programs in these 7 faculties alone. Of course, if you want to find out more specifically on which particular program is available, contact HR. They will guide you on what we have available.
Okay, that's great.
So we are talking regarding the yes.
Sorry, come again, Norman?
So we are talking about the ranking. So when the ranking is high, your requirements is also high. So what is the entry requirement? Let's start this program.
Yeah.
What is your entry for engineering program? What is the requirement?
Okay, let's say for example, engineering program. We actually usually only accept students from both A levels and Cambridge. Unfortunately, for the Pakistani year 12, you will be required to go into a foundation of at least 1 year before you can actually go into our degree program. Now, from A levels to actually go into our engineering program will require at least what we like to call 11 points. Now, 11 points will be derivative from 3 different subjects where we will convert the grades A, B, C to E or U to points. Okay, so the minimum requirement from A levels would be at least 11 points, which is equivalent to roughly about 1B and 2 Cs. And that is if you're using the Cambridge provider. If you're using Pearson's, then it will be about 12 points, which is roughly about 2 Bs and 1 C. Sorry, 3 Bs.
Okay. My question is here, Ian. If let's suppose the student have only 2 subjects in A level and both are A stars, and so still he is required the 3rd subject to be eligible, or you can give an admission on the basis of the 2 subjects because your requirement for business program is 7 points.
Okay, one thing I need to add on is that we also look in terms of subject specifics. So if you have the necessary subjects with 2 A stars, there is a possibility, but usually preferable if you have 3, because we're usually looking at the best out of 3.
Okay.
So you need 3.
Sorry, Norman?
So you need 3 subjects.
Preferably 3 subjects, yes.
Okay,
so what is the
Sorry?
Connection is a bit... Yes, I think there's some distortion on one side end. We are having some issues with that, I think. Ian, I'm saying that 3 subjects is required, but still the option is available for the students who have the 2 subjects.
To a certain possibility, yes, provided that they meet our subject requirements.
Okay, so what is the fee structure of these courses?
Okay, now if let's say for example we're looking at engineering, we are looking about overall, just to round it up nicely for you, it's about 55,000 Malaysian ringgit per annum. 55,000 ringgit per annum, which is in 1 year, and in 1 year we have 2 semesters. So the tuition fees is very simple. Divide by half. That is how much your tuition fee per semester is. And all our tuition fees are payable on per semester basis. So we don't usually take one lump sum, and students are not required to pay like 1 whole year's tuition fees.
Okay. So if we can compare the degree from Australia and Malaysia, so mostly the students are asking that we are getting the degree from Australian campus or Malaysian campus. Can you please explain all this?
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, in terms of recognition wise, it will be actually an Australian recognition. So even if you graduate in Malaysia, it is still an Australian certificate.
Okay, the student is getting the same as like in studying in Australia.
Yes, correct. In terms of the study structure, the subjects that they study in the program, to the certificate that they graduate with, to the transcripts that they get, is all the same with Australia.
Okay. So what's the highest requirement for the bachelor's program?
The highest requirement is for that one will be Bachelor of Medical Science and Doctor of Medicine. That one you need at least 2 A's and 1 B. That is the highest of all the programs that we have available.
Okay, one was basically asking about the IELTS requirement of these programs.
Okay, for IELTS, minimum entry requirement is that we're looking for an overall band of 6.5 with no individual component. That means reading, writing, listening, speaking. All of them must be at least 6.0 and above, nothing lower.
Okay. So,
Ian, how many students studying in Monash campus right now?
Currently, we have about 8,500 across the board for all different faculties, where 8,500 is roughly about 30% of that is actually international students.
Okay. So do you have any sport facilities, and do you have any societies available at the universities?
Yes, we do have sports facilities, okay, and we also do have clubs and societies available for students to join. In terms of clubs and societies, we have about 50 over clubs and societies where students can pick to join, in which at least about 21 out of that 50 is actually all nothing but sports.
Okay.
Yeah, so for those students who like to keep fit, like to keep active, then they can join those sports clubs, 21 sports clubs for them to choose from. If not, we actually have about 15 special interest clubs, 8 academic clubs, 8 creative and performing arts clubs, and also 6 cultural and spiritual societies for them to choose from.
Okay. Ian, I have a question. As this is the branch campus of the main University of Australia, so do you have exchange programs and transfer programs as well?
Yes, we do have exchange and we do have transfer programs. So we do have exchange with Monash University, Australia, where they can go over for 1 semester, okay, and they will be paying Malaysian tuition fees. Okay, of course, provided in order to actually be eligible for the exchange program, they have to actually meet minimum requirements set by the faculty, as well as complete 1 year's worth of study at Monash University, Malaysia first.
Okay. So it is only for 1 semester, huh?
Yes, exchange with Monash University, Monash University, Australia will be for 1 semester. However, our exchange option actually also covers 2 partner universities worldwide. So, for example, students who want to study in Malaysia but also want to experience studying in Canada, in UK, in the US, we do have exchange options where students can study up to 1 year on exchange at these partner universities. So we have about 160 over partner universities in 30 different countries that students can actually choose from. Of course, when we are looking in terms of exchange, the 2 requirements that I mentioned earlier, one is to complete your studies in Monash University, Malaysia for at least 1 year. It's quite, I think, relatively achievable. But the second option will be depending on which university students want to exchange with. So respective universities that students want to exchange with will have to meet different requirements set by that university for students to exchange with, either 1 or 2 semesters max.
Okay. So in the exchange program, the fees will be the same as that of the Malaysian campus of Monash.
Correct. The tuition fees is still Malaysian tuition fees.
Okay, that's fine. And what about transfer?
Okay, transfer option is available, but only available to Monash, Australia. For this, most of the programs available on Monash, Malaysia is actually transferable to Monash, Australia. However, there are certain programs like our medicine program, which is where students cannot transfer to Australia, or like the Bachelor of Science, which is transferable, but within a restricted time frame.
Ian, do you have any scholarships for the bachelor students?
For bachelor students, we do have 1 scholarship, but it's more of a merit scholarship. So students need to achieve the minimum requirement, whether is it through the foundation program that they go through, A-levels or IB. Once they meet the requirement, then they will get about 5,000 ringgit off the first semester. Okay, and then subsequently, they need to actually continue maintaining 75% in their overall semester results in order to continue getting the 5,000 every semester until they graduate. So it is not like the first semester or second semester or only getting in 1 year kind of merit scholarship. It is getting pretty much all the way until they graduate.
So in this COVID situation, do you have any special grants for the Pakistani students?
This one for not specifically Pakistani, but Monash Malaysia actually does have a hardship scholarship fund where they actually put aside a certain amount where students can apply. How much that they get is actually up to the prerogative of the university upon application.
Okay, okay.
So, Mr. Ian, can you please brief something about your master's programs?
Okay, master's programs, we actually have quite a few myriad of programs available that students can actually look at, which will cover both by coursework, which means practical studies, and also by research. Of course, Monash University is more mainly research-centric. So we actually have more research-based programs for master's or postgraduate and PhD programs compared to by coursework.
Okay, so what's about your PhD program? Can you please give something detail of that, how the student can apply for that, what are the requirements?
Okay, so usually what we will do is if students reach out to you, okay, then we will actually guide you and the student to actually reach out to the research manager from respective departments of where student wants to actually do the research for PhD. Now, our style of PhD research will be slightly different from most universities. That is the way you're doing it in Pakistan, because over at the Australian side, your study or your proposal will be wholly yours and yours alone, even though research-wise will be wholly owned by the university.
Okay, so at the start, when you were introducing your courses, you said that only A-level students can apply to your university. So what about the other students who are from matriculation or HSC background from the Pakistan studies?
Okay, so for A-levels and for IB students, it would be pretty much a direct entry if they do meet the requirements to go join our university. Okay, if not, then as I mentioned earlier, to backtrack a little bit, they can actually join our foundation program, which is the Monash University Foundation Year program for 1 year. Okay, upon completion of that 1 year, they need to make sure that they have the necessary scores, they need to make sure they have the necessary subjects, and then after that, they can submit their application to join Monash University already.
Okay, Ian, for the master student, do we have any industrial placements for them at Malaysia or in Australia?
For some programs, okay, for the Australian side, I cannot answer. I can answer for the Malaysian side. Malaysian side, for some programs, there will be industrial attachment. So yes, in some cases, we actually do help some students to actually get industrial placements while they are studying their masters.
So in master's program, they can also exchange their programs as well from Malaysia to Australia?
Yes, some programs they can do so, yes. But this one will be targeted more towards the coursework programs, not by research.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so what about the accommodation you people offer?
Okay, we do offer accommodation. Hostel-wise, we have 3 on-campus accommodations. This one is also working in collaboration with Sunway Management Team, where students can apply to Sunway Monash Residence as one of the accommodations. We also have Sunyu Residence, and we also have Sunyu Apartments for their consideration. Of course, this one will be entirely depending on their budget, because Sunway Monash Residence will cover single and twin sharing rooms, as well as single and suite rooms. Sunyu Residence is only twin sharing option, and then Sunyu Apartment will be twin to quad sharing option. So it kind of depends on what kind of budget students actually have.
Okay.
So what is the average cost the students can bear in accommodation? Like, what's the average cost per month?
Average cost per month, usually we advise students to put aside roughly about 2,300 to 2,500 ringgit Malaysia per month, which is roughly equivalent if we put on a slightly higher range, which will be roughly around 30,000 ringgit Malaysia, or roughly about 10 lakhs. For 1 year. This one will cover food, travel, and accommodation, actually.
Okay, okay. So do you have any facilities in accommodation? They like utilities. They have to charge the utilities as well?
Yeah, sorry, they have what?
Like for the utilities, they have to pay,
Mm-hmm.
including this 2,500, or they have to pay extra?
No, 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 no. This one is already all included into the accommodation rental already. So actually, facilities are free for residents. Things like swimming pool to basketball court to gyms, 24-hour convenience store, covered elevated walkway, 24-hour security, learning hub, student lounge, laundromat, car park, outdoor gazebo. Oh, sorry, laundromat is not included, but everything else is pretty much included already. Laundromat is actually coin operated.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Mr. Ian, when a student reaches to Malaysia, do you people offer first-time airport pickup?
Yes, we do offer first time airport pickup. However, they have to actually let us know whether they need the airport pickup or not. Now, Monash University currently is ranked 6 Setara under the Ministry of Education of Malaysia. Now, because of that, students actually can have the option of whether they want the university to actually pick them up from the airport or whether they want to actually exit the airport by their own behest. So it's actually a choice for students. Of course, being a first-time student to Malaysia, of course, and not knowing where to go, it's always advisable to actually use the airport pickup option. Okay,
Do
so
you people charge for that as well if they use your airport pickup?
no, there's no charge for the airport pickup.
Okay.
Uh,
So it is only
so
for
even
students, huh? If the student is coming with the parents, then what will be the scene?
Okay, now when students come with parents, of course, on our end, we will still prioritize students first because the airport pickup is mainly for the students. If in the event that students actually um, fill up the airport pickup vehicle, okay, then students' parents will actually need to, they can actually try to get a Grab, what we like to call it, something similar to Uber or to Kareem in Pakistan, is basically ride hailing. They can actually use Grab or they can actually use official taxi facilities to go to the accommodation or to the hotel first. If there is available space in the airport pickup vehicle, then parents can also join in actually, provided there is space available.
So even Ian, we haven't discussed regarding the location of the university. How far is the Monash University campus from Kuala Lumpur?
We are about half an hour away from Kuala Lumpur and also about half an hour away from KLIA, which is the main international airport of Malaysia.
Okay. So the students can get easily the airport pickup from Monash University.
Yes, provided that they fill up all the necessary documentations on time, provide all the necessary documentation and information, then yes.
That is our job. Yeah.
Yes. I trust you all to do it very good.
Okay. My question is, you have told about Ielts. So is there any exemption in Ielts as well?
Exemption in IELTS will only come if, let's say, students actually take A levels or IB, where in A levels you have to take things like English paper, English language paper, or general paper. Then, if you meet the requirements from that kind of English paper, then yes, you can get exemption from IELTS or TOEFL. But if, let's say, for example, if you take A levels, you don't have general paper, you don't have English language or English literature in English or English literature, then yes, you will still need to take IELTS.
Okay.
Ian,
So,
can you tell us about students' life outside the university in terms of entertainment and recreation and shopping like this?
Okay, in terms of facility-wise around Sunway City, it is actually a very convenient area because no more than 15 minutes, and this is by foot. This is not even by car. This is by foot. You can actually have access to a shopping mall, which will have very big supermarkets with cinema, with also shopping facilities and everything else, banking facilities, because Monash University is actually located in Sunway City, which is basically convenience at your fingertips. The most that you need is maximum 15 minutes walk. Of course, plus minus situation is depending on how fast they walk or how slow they walk. So sometimes 15 minutes may become 25 minutes. If you are enjoying your leisurely stroll while looking at maybe the water park that's on the way to the mall, then maybe it might end up taking 25 minutes instead.
Okay, that's great. So I think we have questions. We have get all the answers from you. So Umair Saab, any question from you, your side?
Not from my side. I think Mr. Ian has explained all the things very well and very in detail. He has explained about the faculty. They have 7 schools, and about the eligibility, about the fees, about the heights, about the accommodation, about the airport pickup. So all the questions that the student have in the mind once a while have to make the decision to join the Monash University. Mr. Ian has already provided the answer of all of them. So dear viewers, as you get all the information, and very detailed information from me and Mr. Noman and respected Mr. Ian Ko from Monash University, Malaysia. So we are waiting just for your education documents. Our numbers are displayed. On the number, you can even WhatsApp your education documents to us. And my email address is malaysia@hrpakistan.com. You can also send your education documents on this email address. Our numbers are also mentioned on the screen that you are viewing. So we will forward them to Monash University, and their admission team will provide you the offer letter with no time. So intakes are still open. Monash University is still working for admissions. HR consultants are still working for you people for admissions. So you don't have to worry. All the universities are offering the online classes at the moment, but they are going to resume face-to-face classes very soon. So the intakes are open. October intake is there. July intake is there. So you don't have to worry. You just have to forward your education documents to us, and we and Monash University will do the rest for you. So this is it from our side. Mr. Ian, do you want to say anything to our viewers?
No, if you have any interest whatsoever, do reach out to Umair Saab or Nauman Saab. They will reach out to me. We'll do our best to help you. And then hopefully we'll see you in Malaysia.
Nauman Saab, do you have any further questions to ask so that we will end?
No, Umair Saab, I think we have completed all the questions. So we have all the answers from Mr. Ian as well. Mr. Ian, thank you so much for the information. I think we have completed all the session here.
Thank you, dear viewers. Thank you for the time with us, and thank you, Mr. Ian and Mr. Noman, for your